Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to speak to you about something profound, something that speaks to the way God has uniquely and powerfully designed women. In a world that often misunderstands intelligence and underestimates those who carry it with grace, we are here to recognize what heaven already knows, that highly intelligent women are a divine reflection of God's wisdom and strength. Now, the Bible tells us in Proverbs 31:26, she opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. You see, true intelligence in a woman is not merely in her education or achievements. It is in her discernment, her quiet strength, her courage to stand for what is right, and her heart that beats in rhythm with truth. So today I want to share with you 6 signs, 6 marks that reveal the presence of a highly intelligent woman. Not to compare, not to compete, but to celebrate and to awaken that gift that may already live within you or the women in your life. Because when God places a gift in someone, He doesn't hide it, He shines through it. They seek wisdom, not just knowledge. This is a distinction that runs deep, one that is often overlooked in today's society, where information is abundant, but understanding is rare. A highly intelligent woman is not merely one who can recite facts or earn degrees. While those things have their place and value, true intelligence goes further. It reaches into the heart of discernment. Knowledge can be found in books, on the internet, in classrooms. But wisdom comes from above. It is born in experience, shaped by faith, tested by time, and guided by something far greater than intellect, the Spirit of God. A woman who seeks wisdom understands that not everything that glitters is gold. She knows that some paths, though popular, may not lead to purpose. Her intelligence is not displayed by how much she knows, but by how she applies what she knows with grace and humility. She does not rush to speak just because she has something to say. She waits. She listens, and when she speaks, her words carry weight. People around her are drawn to the peace in her decisions, the clarity in her thought, and the strength in her convictions. This kind of woman doesn't pride herself on winning arguments or being the loudest voice in the room. She's not consumed with proving her point. Instead, she searches the heart of a matter. She asks questions others overlook. She reflects before reacting. And in doing so, she shows a kind of intelligence that books alone cannot give. Her wisdom is relational, it's emotional, it's spiritual. It touches not just the mind, but the soul of those around her. You see, wisdom causes her to choose her battles wisely. She does not spend energy on what will drain her. She understands seasons, she understands timing, and she knows when to press forward and when to let go. She's not reckless with her words, her time, or her heart. A highly intelligent woman uses wisdom as her compass. While knowledge may teach her what she can do, wisdom shows her what she should do. That's where her power lies, not just in what she's capable of, but in what she chooses. In relationships, she is discerning. She doesn't give her trust away cheaply, but neither does she close her heart in fear. She is guided by something deeper. She's not impressed by charisma alone. She looks for character. She's not swayed by sweet words unless they're matched by honest actions. Her intelligence protects her from manipulation because wisdom helps her see the truth beneath the surface. In her work, she excels not because she wants to be seen, but because she wants to serve a greater purpose. She learns constantly, yes, but not just to rise higher. She learns to be better, to do better, to understand more clearly what God has called her to do. She may not always be the loudest or most visible, but her presence is felt. Her ideas are solid, Her strategies are thoughtful. She's the woman others look to when the storm hits, because her wisdom brings calm to chaos. And even in failure, her wisdom shines. She doesn't crumble when things don't go as planned. She reflects, she adjusts, and she rises. Because she knows that wisdom is forged in failure just as much as it is in success. She doesn't see setbacks as definitions of who she is, but as lessons in who she is becoming. That's intelligence with depth. That's a mind rooted in truth, not just trends. She is teachable. She doesn't pretend to know it all. In fact, the more she learns, the more humble she becomes, because she understands that wisdom is not a destination, but a lifelong journey. She can sit at the feet of someone with more experience and learn. She can also sit beside someone broken and offer comfort, not judgment. Because wisdom teaches empathy, not arrogance. This kind of woman reads the word not just to quote it, but to live it. She prays not just to speak, but to listen. She knows that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and that every good and perfect gift comes from Him. Her intelligence is surrendered, not boastful. It is secure, not insecure. It is spirit-led, not ego-driven. And in all things she seeks wisdom like treasure, because she knows that when she finds it, she's found something eternal. They walk in quiet confidence, not loud arrogance. There is a beauty and strength that does not need to shout. Highly intelligent women understand that true confidence doesn't need a stage or applause to be validated. It is not fed by the opinions of others, nor is it shaken by the silence of those who do not see them. Their strength is internal, deeply rooted, and unshakable. It is not noisy, not performative, and not driven by ego. It is the quiet assurance that comes from knowing who they are, whose they are, and what they carry inside them. You won't always find these women at the center of attention, yet when they enter a room, you feel their presence. They don't demand respect, they command it by the way they carry themselves. Their posture speaks of purpose, and their tone carries peace. They don't feel the need to compete or compare, because their confidence is not built on being better than someone else. It's built on being aligned with their calling, their values, and their truth. That kind of confidence doesn't make noise, it makes impact. A highly intelligent woman does not need to announce her worth because she already knows it. She isn't waiting for someone to validate her dreams, her beauty, or her intellect. She has already made peace with herself in the quiet places, in the private struggles, in the unseen battles. That's where her confidence was born. It was not handed to her. It was built through moments of uncertainty, through decisions that required faith, through seasons where she had to encourage herself because no one else could see what God was doing in her life. This quiet confidence isn't pride. It's humility wrapped in strength. It's knowing that every gift she has is from God, and therefore she does not boast, she stewards. She does not pretend to be perfect. She embraces her imperfections and learns from them. She can admit when she is wrong without losing her identity. She can say, I don't know, without feeling small. That's because she is secure. Her confidence is not tied to always being right. It's tied to always being real. In conversations, she listens more than she speaks. She doesn't interrupt to prove her point. She's not triggered by differing opinions. She doesn't feel the urge to dominate the dialogue. Instead, she leans in. She reflects. She responds with thoughtfulness, not defensiveness. Her words are measured but not timid. She speaks with conviction but not aggression, because her goal is not to overpower, it is to bring light, to bring clarity, to bring wisdom to the moment. Arrogance, on the other hand, is loud. It constantly seeks validation. It masks insecurity with bravado. But a highly intelligent woman has done the work to separate who she is from what people think. That's why she doesn't chase approval. She walks in alignment. She knows that popularity is fleeting, but purpose is eternal. And so she chooses to walk in truth even when it's unpopular. She chooses stillness over striving. She knows that her steps are ordered, and so she does not panic when the path looks uncertain. Her quiet confidence extends into how she treats others. She does not belittle, she uplifts. She doesn't need to dim someone else's light to make hers shine brighter. She is comfortable celebrating others because she knows that another woman's success is not her failure. In fact, she finds joy in seeing others rise because her heart is free from envy. Her intelligence teaches her that competition is the language of insecurity, but collaboration is the language of wisdom. In leadership, she leads by example. She doesn't lead with a heavy hand, but with a steady one. People follow her not out of fear, but out of respect. Her quiet confidence makes others feel safe, heard, and empowered. She builds spaces where others can thrive, not just spaces where she can be praised. Her humility makes room for others, and her intelligence guides them with clarity and purpose. Even in failure, her confidence does not shatter. She does not spiral into shame. She evaluates, learns, and moves forward because her identity is not in what she does, but in who she is. And who she is, at the core, is whole. Not perfect, but whole. She has been through enough to know that storms will come and go, but the anchor within her holds. Her confidence isn't loud because it doesn't have to be. It is rooted in something eternal. It is anchored in truth. It is born in faith and matured in silence. They discern truth in a world full of noise, in a society that is saturated with information, opinions, and distractions. The ability to discern what is true is a rare and precious gift. A highly intelligent woman is not easily swayed by the latest trends, the loudest voices, or the most convincing arguments. She understands that wisdom is not found in the clamor of the world, but in the quiet spaces where truth can be heard clearly. In a world that constantly bombards us with noise, her ability to sift through the clutter and hear the voice of truth is a sign of her profound intelligence. To discern truth is not merely to know facts. Facts are important, but they are not the end of wisdom. Truth, as it is revealed in wisdom, goes beyond the surface and reaches into the depth of a matter. It sees beyond the headlines, the opinions, and the superficial images that people present. A highly intelligent woman knows that truth is not always loud, nor is it always easy to find. It requires patience, discernment, and often courage. She is not content with the surface level narratives that people tell. She goes deeper. She digs for understanding, even when it means challenging her own assumptions. This kind of woman does not trust everything she hears at face value. She is not quick to jump on bandwagons or follow crowds. She doesn't allow the noise of the world to drown out the still, small voice that speaks to her heart. In fact, she actively seeks out silence, retreating from the overwhelming noise of modern life in order to listen more intently. She understands that in the quiet moments, when she takes the time to pause and reflect, truth becomes clear. The world may be full of voices, but she knows that not all of them are worth listening to. Her intelligence guides her to discern which voices are aligned with truth and which are merely distractions. In relationships, this discernment is invaluable. A highly intelligent woman can see beyond the facades that people put up. She can read between the lines of what is said and understand the heart of what is meant. She doesn't judge others based on their outward appearance or their social status. Instead, she listens to their words, observes their actions, and perceives their true intentions. This doesn't make her cynical or distrustful. It makes her wise. She understands that people often wear masks, whether out of fear or insecurity, and it takes a discerning eye to see beyond those masks to the person underneath. This discernment also informs her decision-making. She doesn't make decisions impulsively or out of a desire to please others. She takes her time to consider all sides of a situation, weighing the facts, listening to her intuition, and seeking wisdom from a variety of sources. She understands that true wisdom comes from having a well-rounded perspective, and she is not afraid to consider alternative viewpoints. Her decisions are thoughtful and deliberate, grounded in truth rather than influenced by fleeting emotions or popular opinion. In the realm of faith, a highly intelligent woman seeks to discern the will of God in all things. She doesn't follow religious trends or adopt superficial beliefs. Instead, she delves into the Word of God with a humble heart, seeking to understand its truths deeply. She knows that truth is not always easy to find, but she believes that it is worth the search. She spends time in prayer, listening for the Holy Spirit's guidance, and she applies what she learns to her life. Her faith is not based on what others say, but on the personal relationship she has with God. She trusts that He will lead her into all truth, and she walks in that confidence. One of the marks of her discernment is her ability to see beyond the surface of circumstances. While others may react in fear or frustration when faced with challenges, she is able to see the bigger picture. She understands that life's difficulties are not always as they seem, and that there is often a deeper purpose at work. This ability to see beyond the obvious allows her to navigate life with grace and resilience, even in the midst of trials. She understands that challenges can be opportunities for growth, and that truth often emerges from the trials we face. In a world that constantly tries to pull her in different directions, she remains steadfast in her pursuit of truth. She is not easily swayed by the shifting tides of culture or the ever-changing opinions of the masses. She understands that truth is eternal, and while the world may change, truth remains constant. This unwavering commitment to truth allows her to live with integrity, to speak with conviction, and to make decisions that align with her values, no matter the cost. Her ability to discern truth is not just a personal gift, it is a gift to others. People are drawn to her because they sense that she is someone they can trust. They know that when they seek her counsel, they will receive wisdom that is grounded in truth. She doesn't give advice based on emotions or fleeting opinions. Instead, her words are carefully chosen, grounded in reality and aligned with the truth she has discerned. People value her for her ability to cut through the noise and offer clarity in times of confusion. In a world that often values noise over substance, the ability to discern truth is a rare and precious gift. A highly intelligent woman understands this, and she embraces it. She walks in the confidence that comes from knowing that she is grounded in truth, and that no matter how noisy the world may get, she will always be able to hear the still, small voice that guides her. They uplift others without dimming their own light. A highly intelligent woman understands that true power lies not in diminishing others to elevate herself, but in lifting those around her without fear of losing her own place in the world. In fact, the more she builds others up, the more her own light shines. She recognizes that there is no shortage of greatness, and that encouraging others doesn't lessen her own worth, it enhances it. Her intelligence is rooted not just in knowledge and skill, but in her ability to recognize the potential in others and help them step into it. One of the remarkable things about such women is their sense of abundance. They are not driven by a scarcity mentality, where they fear that another person's success will somehow diminish their own. They know that success is not a zero-sum game. There is enough room for everyone to rise. When they see others achieving greatness, they don't feel threatened. Instead, they celebrate it. They applaud the accomplishments of others, not because it is required of them, but because they genuinely rejoice in seeing someone else fulfill their potential. This selflessness in lifting others up extends to the way they support their friends, family, colleagues, and even strangers. Whether it's a word of encouragement when someone feels discouraged, a gesture of kindness when someone is in need, or a moment of mentorship when someone is searching for direction, they understand that the success of those around them is also a reflection of their own success. A highly intelligent woman knows that her own growth is linked to the growth of the people in her life. As they rise, she rises with them. Her actions are not driven by competition or comparison. She is not looking for ways to outshine others. Instead, she seeks to create spaces where everyone can thrive. She believes that the best leaders are the ones who empower others to lead. She does not see the people around her as threats, but as partners, collaborators, and teammates. In a world where it is easy to fall into the trap of jealousy or rivalry, she remains grounded in the belief that there is enough success, enough love, enough opportunity for everyone. She leads with humility, knowing that her own achievements do not diminish the accomplishments of others. She celebrates not only her own victories, but the victories of those she cares about. When a friend gets a promotion or an opportunity, she is the first to send a heartfelt congratulations. She does not envy or feel slighted. Instead, she is filled with joy. She knows that when others succeed, they inspire the world, and that collective success is more powerful than individual triumph. In relationships, this light-giving nature is evident. She does not need to be the center of attention to feel validated. She is just as content to shine a spotlight on others, helping them step into their own greatness. This is a woman who will help others see their own potential, even when they cannot see it themselves. She will encourage a friend to pursue her dreams, offer advice to a colleague struggling with self-doubt, or give a kind word to someone who is overlooked. She understands that helping others find their voice or their path is one of the most powerful ways to demonstrate her own strength. Moreover, she understands that lifting others up is not always about grand gestures. Sometimes it is the simple, everyday acts of kindness and encouragement that make the most impact. A highly intelligent woman does not wait for a momentous occasion to encourage someone. She does it daily, whether it's offering a compliment, sharing a resource, or simply listening when someone needs to talk. She recognizes that small acts of kindness can make a world of difference. She knows that by being consistent in her kindness, she can create an environment where others feel supported and empowered to reach their full potential. Her intelligence teaches her that the world is not meant to be navigated alone. She understands that every person is on their own journey and that everyone faces their own struggles. She does not view her success as the only measure of fulfillment. Instead, she sees her role as part of a larger picture, one where everyone is contributing to the beauty and strength of the whole. When she sees someone struggling, she doesn't stand by passively. She steps in. She offers her help, her wisdom, or her resources, because she knows that by helping others, she helps herself. By lifting others, she lifts herself. This ability to uplift others is not born from a place of self-sacrifice or martyrdom. She is not diminishing her own worth to make others feel good. Rather, her actions are grounded in a deep sense of security. She knows her own value is not tied to how much space she occupies, but to how well she uses her space to serve others. She understands that in lifting others, she is fulfilling her higher purpose. She is walking in alignment with her values, her calling, and her faith. By encouraging others, she contributes to creating a world where everyone has the opportunity to shine. Elohim. A highly intelligent woman also understands the importance of boundaries. She knows that she cannot pour into others without taking care of herself. She doesn't give so much that she loses herself in the process. She takes time for self-care, for reflection, and for growth, ensuring that her light remains strong and steady. She knows that to uplift others, she must first be grounded in her own sense of purpose and strength. This balance between lifting others and caring for herself allows her to give freely without depleting herself. In all of this, the light of a highly intelligent woman does not diminish the light of those around her. Instead, it acts as a beacon, inspiring others to shine their own light brightly. She understands that by helping others grow, she is playing a part in making the world a better place, one act of encouragement at a time. As we reflect on the 6 signs of highly intelligent women, we see that their intelligence is not just in what they know, but in how they live, how they impact the world, and how they uplift others. These women walk in wisdom, not just knowledge. They lead with quiet confidence, not arrogance. They discern truth in a world full of noise, and they lift others up without fear of diminishing their own light. Their intelligence is not a badge to wear, but a gift to share. A gift that, when used rightly, brings healing, empowerment, and transformation to those around them. In a world that often measures success by external accomplishments, we are reminded that the true measure of intelligence lies in the heart. It lies in the ability to choose wisdom over knowledge, to walk in humility, to discern truth with clarity, and to elevate others with grace. The highly intelligent woman doesn't need the world's approval to shine because her light comes from within, rooted in a deep understanding of her purpose and her worth. May we all strive to be women who embody these signs of true intelligence. May we recognize the power within us, not for our own glory, but for the glory of God and the benefit of others. May we walk boldly in our purpose, knowing that the wisdom we seek and the confidence we possess are gifts given to us to make the world a better place. And as we continue on our journeys, may we remember that our strength is not in competing with each other, but in lifting one another up and encouraging each other to reach the heights we were all created to attain. Let us be women who are not only wise, but also generous with our wisdom, who are not only confident, but also humble in our strength. For when we embrace this kind of intelligence, we become unstoppable. And together, we change the world.